See the blinding flash of the electric arc. Feel the heat of the molten metal. This is welding. It's a very important job in today's society. It is used in buildings, fabrication, and the automotive industry. In this speech, I'm going to explain stick welding, the process of stick welding. You can become okay at it in about a day's worth of practice, so it makes it perfect for beginners. First thing you have to do before you even start welding is to check that your work area is safe. You don't want any moisture on the table or the floor around you, because it can cause electric shock and death. You don't want any clutter on your table, and you don't want any flammable fluids or product anywhere nearby, because it could ignite and or explode. Next, you want to select the electrode you're going to use during this weld. An electrode is like a steel rod covered in a clay-like substance for protection. The way it works is you put it in your electrode holder and it puts an electric current through the steel into the workpiece, burning the electrode and the flux away, causing slag, which protects the weld. Each electrode is different from the last. No two electrodes are exactly the same, which makes them very useful for different processes. You have to keep track of all this, so there's numbers on the side of them, so you can tell what's in it and what it's good for. Let's say, for example, the electrode number 6010. 60 stands for the minimum tensile strength of the weld metal. So 60 means it has a minimum tensile strength of 60,000. The 1 stands for the positions you are able to weld this in. So for this one, you can weld in all positions. And the 0 stands for what is inside the metal core. Next, you should turn on the welding machine. Let's adjust the settings for the electrode. The settings should be located for what you need on the side of the electrode box. Next, connect your ground clamp to your workpiece or your table, if you have a metal table. This will create a circuit allowing you to weld, allowing the electric current to pass through it, allowing you to weld. Now clamp the electrode into your electrode holder. Now try and strike an arc, but it's like striking a match. You want to drag it across the metal like trying to strike a match. This is the quickest and easiest way to learn how to strike an arc. For the purposes of this explanation, I'm going to explain how to do a flat weld on the beveled edge. All the beveled means is that the edge of the metal has been ground off at an angle. Once you have your arc struck, start dragging your electrode across the metal. Dragging it is not enough, though. You must either do a zigzag process or a whip and pause. To do the zigzag process, you just move it back and forth slightly while dragging it in the direction. But while you're doing all this, you must also feed it in, because your electrode is also burning off while you're dragging it. To do the whip and pause, you must hold it over a spot for a second, then drag it outward somewhat quickly, and then put it back close to where it was again, and repeat. Both these processes create a similar weld. Before you finish the weld, you must go back over a small section of wherever you've just been welding. So when you pull back, break the arc. You do this so that you do not create a crater with lots of cracks in it, which could weaken your weld. Now you may knock the slag off. The slag is a protective layer that keeps the molten metal from becoming contaminated. And you must brush it clean so that you may start your next weld or continue the weld that you just finished. Welding is an art. It takes years of practice to become good at. And as a matter of fact, I'll go practice right now.